Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I got some Taco Bell. I had a couple requests. I had requests from Jeshna Seeperson, Angie Baby, and Fat Faces 73 to do crunchy tacos. And so I thought, since I've also never had the tacos from Taco Bell before, that I would do Taco Bell and crunchy tacos at the same time. So yeah, I got a whole bunch of different kinds. I kind of forget exactly what I ordered. So I guess I'll have to see. And I also got a burrito too, and one soft taco. Lots of food. Okay, so first I guess I'll just start with this one. Oh my god, my mouth is literally watering. This looks so good. Ooh, it comes in like a little holder. Oh yeah, and I also have some sauce too. Okay, so this one, I don't even know. I think it's the Supreme because it has cream or sour cream in it. I don't even know how to eat this. Holy crap. This is about to be so messy. I like rushed home, or I rushed there and I rushed home because I really didn't want them to get soggy. I need a napkin. That one was really good. On to the next one, I guess. This one looks different. I think this is by the Cool Ranch. I feel like I'm just gonna unwrap everything first, so you guys can like see everything, and then I'll eat. And also, oh yeah, I almost forgot. So I'm gonna be doing a Q&A in my next video. So if you guys want to like comment questions below that you want me to answer for the Q&A, or I can also post my Snapchat, and I'll put my Snapchat in the description too. So if you want to send me questions on there, you can send me questions on there too. So yeah. So I also have like a kind of a mini story time today. I'm gonna talk about like this job that I had that was freaking horrible. And just like, so I might go into some other stories, but there's like two main stories I want to share. I think this is the one I added their Chipotle sauce to. Okay, so I guess some basic background information about the job. And I know people are gonna like probably freaking judge me and like comment like, you're so conceited, blah, 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 since I already get those comments already. This is their spicy potato soft taco. If it's focusing, I don't know. And this was only $1 too. Okay, so the background of the job is like in Washington. I don't know, I think it's a chain. Yeah, it's a chain, but there's a couple of them in Washington, and it's kind of known. It's called like the high class Hooters. Like that's literally what its nickname is, because we're fully clothed, right? So like we're wearing dresses that like cover everything. Like it's not like it's one of those things, but they have a very specific brand they go for in terms of like who they hire. And some people say that they only hire girls who are pretty. In my opinion, it's more of like girls who are put together or like put effort into their appearance. Do you know what I mean? And it's young girls too. So like I live in a college town, so most of the girls who work there, I don't think anyone was above like 25, 26. And like the main reason I wanted to work there was just because I knew that they made good money just for that reason. It was like, it's kind of like how you make good money when you're at Hooters. It's like you're just going to make good money in tips, which people might judge me for, but I learned my lesson, so I guess judge away. But yeah, so basically like they had guys that worked there too, but it was just like the whole vibe. They wanted it to be like a young vibe, and like I remember during my training they kept using the word like polished, like make sure you come to work polished, make sure like you couldn't wear a ponytail and have your ponytail showing. It had to be wrapped. You had to accessorize, no flyaways with your hair, always have makeup on, like that kind of thing. Which looking back in retrospect, like I don't know why I thought I would fit in there, but I can't believe I've never tried these before. I was missing out. I added their nacho cheese sauce to this one, whatever this one is. I don't know. But yeah, when I went through and ordered, like I ordered online and I like picked like all the different sauces they could have because I wanted to try them out. So yeah, basically that was just the whole vibe, but I didn't think when I went into it that the guys were gonna be that creepy, because I mean, not that guys should ever disrespect women ever, but like we were fully clothed, right? So like in my opinion or in my thinking, I was like, well, you know, we're gonna make good money, but like I don't think guys were gonna be like as aggressive as they were. So I only worked there for 2 months, right? Like 2.5 maybe. And both these things happened in my short time of being there. They're cheesy bean and rice. So basically, I forget which one happened first. But I remember one time I was serving in the bar, and so in the bar it's like more couples who will be like, or not only couples, but like groups that will be drinking, obviously. So I wasn't bartending, but I was like, there were tables in the bar that you could get happy hour at, and it was just more of like an appetizer and drinks thing as opposed to like sitting in the dining room. And so these two couples come in and they're together, and I could tell it was the summer at this point. So this was actually last summer that I worked there. And so I could tell they'd already been drinking. They were just like kind of tipsy and like a little bit louder. I want to say they were probably like mid 40s. And I was like, sweet, you know, like this is going to be really simple. Which it wasn't, but I was like, this will be really simple, you know, they just want drinks, they don't even want food, like they're just gonna be hanging out and drinking, like this will be an easy table to take, because it was a busy day, so I was like, sweet, you know, this will be simple. So I walked up to introduce myself, and I do my little spiel like, hi, my name is Megan, I'll be taking care of you guys today, like, are we doing just drinks, or are we eating today, you know, like what, like that kind of thing. But as soon as I say, hi, my name's Megan, one of the guys in the group like shoots out his hand towards me and is like, hi, I think his name was like John. It was something like basic like that. He was like, John, nice to meet you. And he like shakes my hand, but he holds it for like a second, right? So he's like over the table, because like, so he's right here, I'm on this side, and the table's like not small, so I'm like reaching to like touch his hand, and he like holds it for a second, and then he doesn't introduce anyone else he's with. He like tries like to seductively introducing himself to me, doesn't introduce anyone else. So I'm like, okay, like nice to meet you, and then I just continue with what I was saying, because like what am I supposed to do, you know what I mean? So that was like the first weird thing. I was just like, do you shake your server's hand like when they come up to you, when they come up to your table? I was like, okay. But I was like, you know what? He seems kind of drunk. It's not a big deal. Whatever. Then him and his friends, or him and his wife and the other couple they're with, keep getting drinks, and like they're just drinking, hanging out, chatting. Like I kind of try to avoid their table because I'm like, okay, John's a freaking weirdo, you know what I mean? And like every so often I'll go over and check with them like if they want refills or not. And so when I noticed their drinks were kind of low, you know, I go over and I'm like, hey, does anyone here need refills? Like, are you guys like all good? Like, can I get you guys anything else? Just trying to be hospitable, you know what I mean? And John's like, so do they only hire models who work here? Like, trying to say it in like, not like a compliment way, just being like creepy. Like, dude, you're like 45. Like, and I look over at his wife, who like I assumed was his wife, and she's like, John, like, stop, you know what I mean? And he's like, I was just asking. And like, what do I even say to that? I was just like, no, there's no requirement to work here. We just, like, they just hire whoever, you know what I mean? So I think this is the regular taco supreme. And then I added, this is the avocado ranch sauce, I think. This is getting like so messy. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is the avocado ranch sauce on there. So once again, I just like walk away, you know, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is like tipsy. Like, he's just being freaking weird. Like, I feel bad for his wife. And then the last time I go over to check again if they need refills, because they were there, I want to say, for like 2 hours probably, like just kind of hanging out. And he's like, I walked over, he was like, I just want to say that you have the most beautiful lips I've ever seen. And I look over at his wife again, and I'm like, and she's like, well, what about mine? Like, at this point, she's like mad. She's like, what about mine? And I'm literally just standing there like, oh my god. He was like, I was just trying to give her a compliment. And they literally start arguing in front of me. And so I literally just walk away. I'm so over it at this point. Like, I've had guys, obviously, not obviously, but I've had guys flirt with me before their wives get to the table, which I'm pissed about, but like, never when they're in front of their wives. You know what I mean? Like, just blatantly telling I was 21 at the time, 21-year-old girl that she has beautiful lips when you're like literally, he could be my dad's age, you know? And so I don't even care at this point. I just split their checks and drop them off at the table, and I don't like bother with them for the rest of the night. But then, they probably hang out there for like another like 30 minutes, and I just like, ignore them. Like, I don't even go check on them. But then when they were all leaving, so the section where you like ring in people's orders is like parallel to the bathroom. So there's like the section where you ring in people's orders right here, and then the hallway to the bathroom, but there's like a glass wall that separates it. It's not like a regular wall, it's just a glass wall. And when I'm ringing in people's orders, I see freaking John like waiting over to the side, like just standing there, obviously waiting for me because he can see me. And I look over at his table because I can see it from where I am, and there's no one there, so I'm assuming they left. And he's just like freaking hanging out, like waiting for me. I was like, are you serious? Like, I have to literally run away from this creepy man at my job. And so I asked this server, I'm like, hey, can you go ask him if he needs help with anything, so I can just like scurry on past and like get to my other tables, because I was slammed at that point. I was like, I don't have time to entertain you, John. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? Freaking creepy. And then the other story, which is even creepier, believe it or not, it was like a slow, I think it was a morning shift because it was really slow. And there's just this old gentleman who was sat in my section. I thought it was gonna be an easy thing to do, you know, like he just wants an entree and like something to drink, like it's gonna be freaking simple, right? And so like, I'm trying to strike up conversation with him because it's easy to like talk to people. Like, obviously I want to be hospitable, and it's easy to talk to people when they're by themselves. Like, when they're in groups, I don't really like, when I was serving, I didn't really like starting a conversation because they were all talking and I didn't want to like interfere, you know? But when it's like just one person, I was like, okay, sweet, like I can strike up a conversation with this guy. It's slow, like there's time, you know? And so we get to talking, And he's just telling me about his kids. I'm like, I guess they're in college in California at that point, and blah, blah, blah. And then he, out of nowhere, he's like, you really remind me of my ex-girlfriend. My energy immediately just drained from my body. Like, I knew where this was going, you know what I mean? Like, you just get the freaking feel. And I was like, oh, really? Like, that's cool. Like, what does she look like? Just trying to, like, you know, go along with it. And he, like, shows me this picture of this girl. First of all, it does not even look like me. She's literally blonde. So I'm assuming what he meant by us looking alike was that we were in the same age range, because she was probably like, probably my age. He's got to be like, I don't even know, like 60, 65, 70. I'm bad with telling ages for old people, but he had gray hair, so, you know, he wasn't young. And I'm like, oh, like, she's really pretty, you know, like, just trying to be nice. And he was like, yeah, well, she wasn't really my girlfriend. We were just in a mutually beneficial arrangement. That's what he said. He's like, do you know what that means? And yes, I know what it means. If you don't know what it means, it's basically he's a sugar daddy and she's a sugar baby, and like mutually beneficial is like she has sex with him and he pays her, and that's how it goes, you know? And so I was like, yeah, I've heard the term, blah, blah, blah. And I forget how I even got out of it. I think I was just like, oh, I have to go check on my other tables, you know what I mean? And I like, once again, avoid him for the rest of the freaking day too, because I don't want to get dragged into another sugar daddy conversation. And so when I can tell he's done with his food, I just go drop off his check, and I just walk by, like, I just pretend like I have other stuff to do, so I don't like say anything to him. And when he leaves, oh my gosh, I still get the creeps thinking about it. And when he leaves, I'm like at the POS section again, so not the one with the glass wall, but there's also one in the bar, so it's easy because they're like at opposite sides of the restaurant, so obviously you want multiple, because that way it's just more time efficient. You don't have to like walk half a mile to go ring in someone's order. And so I was facing the bar at the POS section, and like the restaurant and like half of the dining room is behind me, and he walks up behind me, and he literally puts his arm around my waist and like creepily, like, oh, just whispers in my ear. He's like, well, not whispers, he wasn't like literally whispering, but he was like talking low, and he was like, if you ever change your mind about the mutually beneficial arrangement thing, I left my number on the receipt. I was like, okay, thanks, have a good night. Like, like, thinking about it to this day, I just get like, oh, you're so creepy. Like, creepy old dudes who like, don't touch me. So yeah, I quit that job in like 2 months, because like those were just stories. Those were like the bigger stories, but like people were just like weird all the time. It was just like a weird environment. Like, guys would like specifically come, and I'm not good at like entertaining people like that. Like, there's some girls who can be like really flirtatious, and like that's totally them, which is cool, like make your money girl, but that's not me. I couldn't do it, so I quit. I have other stories about that job, like with how crazy my manager was about like maintaining the whole polished image, if you guys want to hear about that, because she was crazy. But I wanted to tell you like the more funny, like creepy ones, because I thought it'd be more interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment below questions for my next video's Q&A, and feel free to comment food suggestions too. And yeah, thank you. See you next week.